What's the latest on the heavyweight mess? We answer that next. Please like and subscribe. Help us hit 10,000 subscribers. Leave us a comment. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to another episode of Sunday Morning Champion. A quiet week of boxing, no major cards to get into at all. But the heavyweight division, the heavyweights are making some noise, especially over there on the Eddie Hearn side. And then I want to hit on Bud and Khan. I want to touch on that fight once more because it looks like that is all but official. It looks like that's certainly going to get made for April in Madison Square Garden, New York City. But let's go to let's start with the heavyweights. Apparently, Eddie Hearn wants to move Usyk up quickly through the heavyweight division. I think this is a wise move. I don't think Eddie was going to. I didn't think Eddie was going to do that. I thought he was going to take his time, have him take some smaller fights, and work his way up. But I think he's going to throw him right to the wolves and see if he sinks or swims. He's betting he swims, that he'll win, and he can make AJ Usyk fight for the fall of this year. October or whatever of 2019. I think that's what we're going to get. Apparently, King Kong Ortiz or Alexander Povetkin could be next. These are two top 10 heavyweights, and I think, to me, King Kong Ortiz is the fourth best heavyweight. You could argue go back and forth with him and White, but if Ortiz fought White, Ortiz would win that fight, I'm pretty sure. Apparently, Dillian White and Joseph Parker declined. Apparently, they didn't want that fight, and for good reason. Parker would lose badly. All right, he would get outboxed badly by Usyk, and White wants to fight for the heavyweight crown. So fighting Usyk wouldn't be worth it. The risk isn't worth the reward there. Look, Usyk is a tremendously skilled heavyweight. He has amazing skills, foot speed, hand speed, footwork, combination punching. He is unique for this division. There's nothing else in this division like him. And his size is not going to be a problem. He's a big cruiserweight. 215 to 220, I'm guessing, is what he's going to weigh when he fights as a heavyweight. It's like he may not fight till June. He may bulk up, but I'd advise him not to bulk up too much. Look, his entire game, his platform is not built on power or strength. If he gets in the trenches, it's not going to be good, right? Luis Ortiz or Dillian White or those guys leaning on him, it's not going to be good. It's Usyk's always compared to Evander Holyfield because of the way they dominated at cruiserweight. But look, the goal for Holyfield was to make him a heavyweight. It was to bulk him up, get 10, 15 extra pounds on him, and make him a heavyweight. If you could get him to 210, 215, which is what they wanted, which they did, then they knew that Holyfield could be the heavyweight champ of the world. You don't want to touch Usyk because his entire game, his entire fight is built on flexibility and mobility and movement. And if you bulk him up, you're going to lose some of that, and you don't want to do that, right? It's like taking Michael Vick and saying, okay, you can't be a running quarterback. We need to stick you in the pocket. It's like, that's not what you want to do with Usyk. You need Usyk to be mobile, to be elusive, to fire off a lot of shots from different angles, and use his footwork to get out of the way. He's uniquely talented for a heavyweight, and you don't want to touch that. You don't want to change that. I think his power is good enough. He's not going to be a knockout puncher. Obviously, I wouldn't take him to knock out AJ or knock out Fury or knock out Wilder or Ortiz or even Dillian White. I don't think he'd knock out any of those guys. That being said, he'll outbox all of them. He's tremendously talented, uniquely talented for that size. He moves like a middleweight or a welterweight, and he's a heavyweight, or 215 to 220 pound heavyweight. So apparently, we're going to get potentially, and it looks like it may not be till June, but King Kong Ortiz or Povetkin. As a fan, I'd like to see him fight Ortiz, although I think it's a much more dangerous fight. I think he could outbox Povetkin fairly easily. I don't want to say easily because Povetkin obviously is a threat, but I think Usyk would outbox him hands down. Ortiz, you don't want to get into a straight boxing match with him. Although, again, Usyk's a better boxer. Ortiz is going to be much bigger and longer, and that's a trickier fight. Although I think Usyk figures him out and wins a wide decision against either fighter. Ortiz would be the trickier one of the two. Next thing I want to get to, Anthony Joshua may take on Jarrell Big Baby Miller for all three of his belts, WBA, WBO, and IBF heavyweight championships at Madison Square Garden as well. I want to get into this because I have two views on this. First off, this is disrespectful to Dillian White. However, I love the fight. Look, White deserves a title shot. He does. I don't think White would win. I don't think Dillian White would beat Anthony Joshua. And I think Big Baby Miller is better than White. But White has earned a title shot. He beat Lucas Brown, Joseph Parker, and Derek Chisora. Big Baby doesn't have anything like that on his resume. He has nothing like that to elevate him to a title shot. Not even close. Well, let's be real. And if I'm Dillian White, I'm about out of patience now with Eddie Hearn. Now you want me to fight Luis Ortiz. After I've jumped through all these hoops, beat all these guys, you won't give me a title shot. When Dillian White versus Anthony Joshua in the UK is a bigger fight than Anthony Joshua, who doesn't draw in the U.S., coming over to the Garden to fight Big Baby Miller, which I think does okay. Big Baby Miller is a New Yorker. He'll have a natural fan base there. I think the fight sells well. And it'll be on the zone, so we won't have to pay for it in the States. But a Dillian White fight in the UK with Joshua would be massive. If I'm Dillian White, I'm out of patience. Dillian White has done everything in the world to earn himself a title shot. Again, I don't think Dillian White's particularly good. He's just the next best. He's the fifth best heavyweight, and of any challenger, of any contender, he has the best resume. Deserves a title shot. If now, look, in a perfect world, Dillian White would get the title shot because he's earned it. Jarrell Big Baby Miller, however, is a freak. He's 315 pounds. Is fairly athletic for a guy that size. I mean, that's got to be taken in perspective, right? Like, it's all relative. He's an offensive lineman. He's an NFL offensive lineman in the ring. Just him leaning on you, him pushing you, him punching you in the arms, tying you up, is going to wear you out. Like, you think he outweighs Deontay Wilder by 100 pounds. Like, that matters. So if this is cherry picking, this is going to be cherry picking gone terribly wrong. And unless Eddie Hearn knows something that I don't know, and maybe he does, these are his guys, Miller is a far more difficult fight than Dillian White. Dillian White is sloppy, yes, he can punch, but Anthony Joshua would get him out. And I think he'd get him out in 5-6 rounds. Jarrell Big Baby Miller, look, how do you knock out a bear? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I can knock this guy out. And it's going to be tough because with his work rate, he's going to wear you down. I don't know how you win the late rounds, so you better put enough rounds away early in the bank and last through the 12 rounds to make it through and have enough rounds in the bank to win. You better win all those early rounds because that work rate it's relentless. He throws a ton of punches. It's almost unbelievable for a guy that size. Look, I'm not saying he's going to win. I'm not saying Big Baby Miller is going to win. I'm not saying that. I'm not sure who I'm picking yet. If that fight does happen, and it looks like it may. But I'm not definitely picking anyone. The way I would definitely pick AJ to beat White, right? Like, I would absolutely pick Anthony Joshua to knock out Dillian White. Look, Jarrell Big Baby Miller is going to be a problem. He's going to be a headache for anyone in this division. He's 315 pounds, fairly athletic. You guys are going to say, well, he's not athletic. He's athletic enough for a guy that size, right? Like, the only a guy that weighed 300 pounds maybe Valuev, right, at that level. And he was, flat-footed and slow. And Big Baby Miller isn't. And the work rate is unbelievable. So he could win. Not saying that he will. I'm saying that it's not out of the realm of things which are realistic. Because he would be a problem for anyone in the heavyweight division. And that includes Fury and Wilder and all those guys. But I'm not making a prediction on that yet. Let's see if it becomes official, and then I'll do a video on that. But leave your thoughts, comments below. Let me know what you guys think of the confusion in the heavyweight division and what fights you guys want to see and what fights you think we're going to see, right? Because the fights you want to see and the fights we're going to see are usually two different things, although sometimes they're the same. I want to take one more look at this Terrence Bud Crawford versus Amir Khan fight. This looks like it's a done deal for April at Madison Square Garden. And it's not a great fight. Bud should blow him out. Khan really hasn't done anything to get a title shot since he's been knocked out by Canelo. But no one else wants to fight Terrence Crawford. I mean, let's just run through these guys. Keith Thurman has been on maternity leave for the last 2 years. Porter is fighting Ugas. Spence said he has no interest in fighting him, and his name wasn't even mentioned. He said Pacquiao's name was mentioned, all these other guys' names were mentioned, but Spence says that Crawford's name wasn't even mentioned in talks. And Pacquiao's fighting Broner and left Top Rank to avoid fighting Terrence Crawford. He could have had that smoke whenever he wanted it, but clearly he didn't want that smoke. So, look, so you take look at Thurman, Porter, Ugas, Spence, Pacquiao, all those guys out of the equation. Who's left for Terrence Crawford? Amir Khan? Luis Collazo? And those are the names they threw around. The only other name I would have liked to have seen is Kell Brook. And if you were going to negotiate with Eddie Hearn, why not go after Brook? Well, obviously because it's a more dangerous fight, but again, that would be the fight that I'd want to see. And I think there's still a chance that we could see that because I don't think any of the PBC guys are going to come over and cross paths and fight Terrence Crawford. So, I don't know, maybe at the end of the year, Terrence Crawford fights Kell Brook. And I still think Kell Brook has a lot left in the tank. But, look, you can't, if you're getting mad at Terrence Crawford for this fight, and it's a travesty that I'm going to have to pay money to watch this fight because it's not a great fight, but it's the best fight that he could be made. And just like when Spence fought Lamont Peterson early, it's been a year now, it's like, I'm not really into this fight. This fight does nothing for me. But everyone else was busy. He couldn't get no other fights. That was the one that was available. That was the next best guy up. And he fought him. And that's kind of what we have now with Terrence Crawford and Amir Khan. So, look, let's look at it for what it is. Khan is a tremendously skilled fighter. Excellent skills. Good jab. Throws nice combinations. Has blazing hand speed. He could maybe steal a round or two from Crawford. He's a very difficult guy to outbox round in, round out, right? Khan is. Khan can win rounds against anybody. And maybe he can win a round against Terrence Crawford. But let's be real. Crawford's going to knock him out. Crawford's going to knock him out, I'd say 7 or 8. Because it's just that chin. We saw Samuel Vargas drop him. It's at this point, you just think anyone who can punch at 140, 147 is going to knock Khan out. Like, let's just be real. And Crawford is not a one-punch knockout artist typically. He has that one-punch knockout against Dongo to the body. But, I mean, Khan's chin is paper mache. He's going to get hit, and that's going to be it. But, again, I'm not in love with the fight. I think it's a travesty that I'm going to have to buy this fight. And I'm going to buy it. Because, like I said, it's not Crawford's fault that he has to fight Khan. No one else wanted to fight him. Everyone else made an excuse not to fight him. And Terrence Crawford's the best fighter in the world. He is. His skill set is unique. Like, we talked about Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao had every single opportunity to fight Terrence Crawford, and he wanted none of that. So instead, he went over to PBC and called out Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia winner, who were 2 top 10 pound-for-pound fighters. Those guys he's fine with. Terrence Crawford, no, I don't want that guy, right? So, I mean, there's levels to this, right? It's like, do I think Spence and Mikey are great fighters? Absolutely. But Crawford's better than all of them. So do I think Kevin Durant and James Harden and the Greek Freak are great basketball players? Yeah. LeBron James is better than all of them. It is what it is. Terrence Crawford's the best fighter in the world right now. But let me know what you think. We're going to get Khan and Bud at the Garden in April. Leave your thoughts, comments below on this fight, and let me know. Give me the name of the guy who's available who you'd rather see Bud fight. I'm interested to know. Leave your thoughts, comments below. For Sunday Morning Champion, this is 3D Boxing signing off, saying thank you and God bless.
Enjoy 3D Boxing vlog videos? Show us some love by clicking the like button. Don't miss a tweet, post, story, or video. 3dboxingvlog.com is also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hit the subscribe button now to stay inside the ring.